Hey everyone, and welcome to the final episode in this video course. So in this episode, we're actually going to focus on exporting our maps from Gaea so that they can be used in another package such as Unreal Engine 4, Unity, Houdini, whatever sort of other package you want to continue working in. So hopefully by now you follow the log and have a terrain that you're happy with. So how do we actually export these maps? Well, up here we have the build option. So if we click this, we'll get a new window. And this is where we prepare everything to be exported. And right now you'll see that we don't have any nodes. So Gaea doesn't understand which nodes we want to export. So we need to tell it which ones to mark. So we could simply just click add node and select the one we want. But personally, I prefer to just find the node that I want to export. So the height map, for example, and I can just right click and press mark for export, which will give us this save icon. Alternatively, I can just press F3. And now we'll toggle this on or off. And if I just rename this to height, you'll see we get a pop-up. So it's detected that this is already marked for export. It's asking us if we want to update the name as well. So we'll just tick yes. And now if I come to the build window, you'll see we have the height option. And I could even rename this here if I wanted to say height map. But we'll leave it as height. We'll just put height. Cool, and we can leave this on, leave the output. You could select the format that you want. So we'll go with PNG. And then we have the build definition. So over here, we'll stick with PNG 16-bit. We can change the resolution. So on 1K, 2K, 4K, etc. So we'll stick to 1K for the video. Change the output range. I tend to leave natural evolution. And if you're working on tiled landscapes, especially for open worlds, this is actually being developed by Gaea right now. DAX is putting a lot of resources into this. So hopefully in a future build, this will be no longer experimental, but you can enable tiles. And how large do you want each tile? So you can see right now we're going to have 4x4 tiles to fit up this 1K height map. So this would be actually super useful for open world. But we'll just leave that disabled for now. Mesh options. So if you do want to export the mesh, all we need to do is just simply grab the mesher node, drag that into here, press F3 to mark that for export. And if we come to build, you'll see we now have that as well. And if we come to the mesh options, we'll leave the scale normalized. We can leave the LOD to none. And as we change the vertex count, you'll see the polygons are updating. So we'll keep this pretty low just for speed. And we can force quads if we wish. And then we could resample. So if you're exporting this to Unreal Engine 4, you'll need to work with specific texture resolutions. But for now, we won't resample. We'll leave the color space. And then for the build options, we could mutate it if we want to. Do you want to save a copy? I don't want a copy. I want to keep the UI. I don't want to close the UI. Yeah, and we can beep when we're done. And then lastly, we just need to provide a build destination. So we're actually going to just put this on the desktop. I'll make a new folder called ArtStation Gaea. Select that folder. And now if I just hit start build, we're going to get this new window. And we'll just see it building each node and a percentage for each one. Again, this is also being updated by Quad Spinner as well. So sometimes you might think it is stuck, but don't worry, it's actually building. And if you do build at 2K, then it's going to take quite a lot of time. You might as well go grab a coffee. Cool. And now we'll see that we have the height map. And I also have the mesh. So some of you may have noticed that actually the height map that was exported doesn't actually resemble what is inside Gaea. So this is very dark. And if we just take a look at the height map over here, it's a lot more gray. There's a lot more values available. So to really force that to be exported correctly, and I don't know if it's a bug on Gaea's part because I've never actually had PNGs working correctly. If you simply just export as EXR, then the height map will export as it should. So if we just do a build and I'll load up the file, you'll see the difference. So hopefully this is just a bug that can be easily resolved. because I do prefer working with PNGs. Personally, I find it quicker to see in the Windows Explorer, but EXRs are probably, I think, lossless. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, if I go ahead and just open this EXR file now, we can now see we have the correct values for our height map, and if I drag and drop this, we can see the difference clearly. So I would advise working with EXR. If someone that works at QuadSpinner realizes this is a bug, please do reach out, and hopefully I can correct the video. And then, of course, if we finally just want to export some of these color maps to the final albedo, again, we can just press F3, hit build, and we'll see that that's here as well. And I can just change this to PNG and call this albedo. And if I just disable these and hit build, okay, so we actually have all of the maps that we need now. So we have our albedo, we have our height map, and we could start generating our normal map and ambient occlusion inside Substance Designer if we wanted to. I really hope that some of you found this tutorial useful and that you start actually using Gaea and generating some awesome pieces of artwork. I know some people in the Experience Points Discord have been using this based on my recommendations. And just a big shout out to QuadSpinner and what they're doing with the software. I think it's extremely user-friendly, very easy to use, and hopefully as time goes on it gets more and more polished. So yeah, Dax, the owner, is super friendly, always willing to give feedback as and when needed. So definitely show them some support, check out the software, download the free trial. You don't actually have to pay for the software to even use it commercially. So yeah, definitely check it out, and looking forward to what you guys create. Bye.